And we are back alongside head coach Nikki McCray, Doug Ripley, welcoming you to another season of Old Dominion women's basketball. The Monarchs coming off a 21-13 campaign. A lot of excitement around your team, coach, and it all begins with a regular season Friday against Campbell.
Well, you just said the magic words. We are back. Maybe that should have been our theme more so than empower. We're back.
That's it. We're back.
Yes, a lot of excitement. Obviously, tremendous growth last year. But last year was last year. It's a different season. And we just want to continue to move forward and be better. And we're just excited about this season and looking forward to what God has in store for us.
You're touching on the theme empower. I love it. I think it's great. How and why did you arrive at that theme to your team this year?
Every year, the team's personality is different. Doug, my first year, came in not knowing anything. We established a culture win theme, and we saw it pay dividends the last half of the season when we won like 6 in a row. And then bringing into the fold 9 new people and returning 3 people that's been with me for a year. Now it wasn't about the culture, it was about being rooted together, and you can't move forward if you don't know where you come from. And I thought our kids really bought into that. And with the success that we had last year, it is how can we be better, and that's where we came up with the theme empower. Empowering ourselves to be the best version of ourselves, empowering each other every single day, empowering each other to be strong, and empowering our community, all of those things, everybody that we come in contact with, how are we impacting their life? Those things have really stuck with me, stuck with our staff, and our kids, have bought into the empowerment theme, and I think it is fitting for this year.
So after 6 weeks of preseason, months of the off-season workouts prior to that, where do you see that theme of empower coming through best for the direction of this year's team? But what areas also do you see are in need of most improvement from that standpoint?
I think, definitely we've done a really good job of cultivating a great relationship off the court. Got 3 new people, one's from Germany, they're all, and we've actually just embraced that part of it, just empowering them, involving our new people, into our family. So yes, the personality is different, but these 3 young ladies, they love it here, and that's been really good to see on the court, okay, holding each other accountable. That's the thing that I love about this team. They like each other off the court. They don't get on each other enough on the court, so just empowering each other, to do the things that we're asking them to do in the moment. Hold each other accountable, and just be strong in who you are, I mean, everybody is different, but they're great people, so you have to be strong and confident in who you are every single day. You step out of your door, and you walk around this campus, you meet people, all of those things. So I'm seeing that, that empowerment a little bit more on the floor. They're starting to hold each other accountable. We're not where we are, but we're getting there.
One area that I saw step up from an empowerment standpoint is your coaching staff. And that's not to say that they weren't involved in years past, but it seemed like they took on a little more ownership, each of them, whether it be Keith Freeman, Scepter Brownlee, or Brittany Young, in how they worked with the team and worked with you in preparation for this year, maybe more so than your 2 prior years. Was that a priority, empowering not only the players but also your fellow staff as you get ready for this new season?
Definitely. I think, our staff is very, very talented, and, everybody is so different, but, we come together and we're strong as a collective unit. But each one of them have many, many different talents. And I think for us, it is about just continuing to, hone in on your craft, and they're so great, and they've helped me. I hope I've helped them in ways, but I can't do it alone. I give our coaches voices in practice, to be able to implement things to where I don't have to always do it. And I started that this summer, to where I wasn't even involved in the individual workouts, and I thought that was really good because they took ownership in it. And now as we get now into the season, our kids kind of know who they are and what they're going to say and what they're about, and how they're going to coach. And I think that has been very rewarding for our kids. So they're not able to hear me all the time, but our coaches have really stepped up to the plate and just really come into their own.
And similar to what we did last year, folks, with our show name, Back to Our Roots, having to do with last year's theme of Rooted Together, we want to do the same thing with this year's theme, Empower. So we're leaving it up to you, Monarch Nation, to decide it. So if you have any ideas, send it my way. You can do it on Facebook, on Twitter, or on Instagram, at Doug Ripley ODU on any of those paths. You can either get it to me privately through Messenger or get it to me publicly through any of those social mediums. But either way, we're looking for a show name. We hope you can find it out. And if you are the one that delivers that new show name, we've already got a couple of really good ones. I don't want to give it away right now. But send them on. Who knows? We might be able to whip up a prize here for you for being able to give us the title for this year's show that you will be able to see here on Facebook Live throughout this 2019-2020 campaign. Let's talk about your team's play, Coach. And if you have any questions here, submit it in the comments section, or you can submit it in advance by any of those methods that I just mentioned over the course of the week. If you know you're not going to be watching the show live, get us the question in advance, and we'll make sure that we're able to get that on the air to you here. But if you want to ask it right now, do so in the comments. I've got it pulled up here on my computer, and we'll go ahead and get those into Coach before we sign off. Let's talk about your team's play. Before we talk about the open exhibition against CNU, you also traveled to your last home for 9 years to play South Carolina in a closed-door exhibition. What did you learn about yourself and your team in that experience taking on Don Staley's team that's in the top 10 in both national polls this year?
Well, I think, it was some familiarity, just being able to go home and just see, the coaches and that arena, because, that was a great place, and it's always a special place, in my heart, and will always be. They're a team that can win a national championship without question. I thought it was really good to play against that type of competition, and to see where we are physically, mentally, from a recruiting standpoint. And I thought it gave us a chance to really look at ourselves and to see how far we need, where we need to go. And that's the biggest thing when you can play, competition like that. You get a chance to see where you are.
You were there from the beginning along with Coach Staley when the program didn't have anywhere near the interest that it has today, not only in Columbia but also on the national scale, and of course headlined by that 2017 national championship team that you were part of. Was it strange playing or coaching on the other sideline from that group and also doing so in an empty environment like you had there?
Oh, definitely, because I've sat alongside, Coach Staley for, 9 years, and, I had a little seat right next to her. But it was, but, it was good. It was really good to just be welcomed back, and, just from all the people when I entered the arena, just, hey, how are you doing? We miss you. Those things just felt really good.
Robbie, Daniel, Chris, good to have you guys aboard. Anybody else coming on here, happy to have you with us live, or if you're watching us on demand, certainly appreciate you joining us here today, and also looking forward to see you on Friday for the regular season opener for the Monarchs as they host the Campbell Camels, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we come off the air here today. Your 114-53 win over CNU, the open exhibition at Chartway Arena this past Friday, taking on a CNU program that's routinely been in the top 10 or 15 in D3Hoops.com's poll over the years under Bill Broderick. Now that you've had a few days to digest that, and here you are in your off day as you really get into game mode now with Campbell on the horizon, where is your team playing-wise heading into the season opener by your standard?
Well, for us, we're still nowhere near where we need to be. For us, it's just every day we want to get better. Obviously, I thought, the CNU game just really gave us a chance to get a game underneath our belt, to just experience that in front of our fans in our arena. And I thought that was really good for us. I thought they did some things that showed us some areas that we're very vulnerable in and that we got to get better at. But it's the details. It's really the details when it comes to this basketball team. Our ability to communicate, that is an intangible that has to happen pretty quickly. Our ability, to stay dialed in and locked into what we're doing for 40 minutes, and, when you have, a game like that, you can kind of lose focus, but at that point, you gotta understand that. You gotta have that focus and be able to maintain that for the duration of the game.
Where, from an X's and O's standpoint, has this group made the most positive gain since you started preseason 6 weeks ago?
I think we're fundamentally sound. We really worked this summer on some fundamental things. Finishing better in the paint. Obviously shooting the ball better. Just really got up a lot of shots. And I thought we displayed that. I thought we shot well over 50%. And I don't know what we shot from the three, and that was pretty good to see. And we finished in the paint. So from an offensive standpoint, our fundamentals, we definitely have improved in that area.
That said, one of the side stories of this year's preseason has also been injuries. In your open exhibition against CNU, I saw a lot of people comment afterward. I'm sure they said it to you all too. Our fans are not afraid to speak out their opinion to you or the rest of the team here when it comes to what you all are doing and how well you're playing. But you had 4 players not dressed. Maggie Robinson, your senior forward, who had a knee injury back in the summer. Mackenzie Smith, your freshman point guard. Deja Carter, your junior forward. And then also Vanessa Blagman, a redshirt sophomore guard who is not injured but is still completing her transfer year from USF. So others have suffered some bumps and bruises along the way here as well this preseason. How has that impacted how you've gone about the process of preparing this team for the start of the season?
Well, I think for us, the people that we have in practice, we're just very conscious of that and trying to manage those times. But, we have been plagued with a little bit of the injury bug, but hopefully we'll have those people back into the fold. I will tell you that obviously Maggie Robinson and Mackenzie, they're out for the season, but Vanessa and Deja will be back with us pretty soon. Maggie is someone that was a starter for us last year. Her energy, her toughness, we missed that. But if you notice, we had a lot of people taking some charges, and that's an area that, she won some games for us just because she had a big shot and she took a key charge. But she has that experience. And, but I think this year is going to allow her to really see it from our point of view. But, just continue to have her voice. Mackenzie, freshman, obviously, someone that, would have impacted our team just because she's got great vision, she's got great instincts, and she can shoot the basketball as well. But, we're looking forward to having both of them back, next year.
That's 2 straight years, though, now that you've started the year knowing that that a point guard would not be at your disposal this year. Last year, it was Amaya Register. And, again, I wasn't at the game. I was with football down in Miami this past weekend at FIU. But that was a big takeaway that I heard from Monarch Nation as well, is they were really pleased with what they saw from Amaya Register. Was that what you saw as well?
Well, Amaya's just steady. She's a true point guard, and she's just getting confident every practice, every rep in games. Again, another player that we have to manage, in practice because we really want to have her for games. But she just got a great basketball mind, great basketball IQ, and just, that is comforting to know as a coach that someone can just really retain the information quickly and go out and apply it. We just want to get her confident. We want to get her legs strong to where she's able to play, significant minutes for us.
To speaking to that, Marcus just dropped a question here. He related to Amaya. He says, what impact do you feel having Amaya back will have on the team as the season progresses?
I think it gives us another player that we can bring in. It gives us depth, on the perimeter, and that's what we need. If you notice last year, we had people out, and we were playing with 4 perimeter down the stretch. And in this league, you got to have very, very good guard play, and you need as many guards as possible that can come in and can contribute.
Thank you, Marcus, for the question. And again, got a few more minutes before we sign off on our debut episode of the year. If you have a show title recommendation or a question here for Coach McCray, get it in here in the next couple of minutes, and we'll try to make that happen before we sign off. Let's talk about the start of the season, your non-conference schedule. You open with Campbell on Friday. you've got an interesting schedule here. Road trips to Auburn and Virginia. You go to San Luis Obispo to take on Cal Poly and also Idaho just past Thanksgiving. You host a three-game round robin, the Ann Donovan Classic here at Chartway Arena behind us, December the 19th through the 21st with Richmond, Hampton, and then also Mount St. Mary's coming here. Plus the regulars showing up on the schedule as well, going to VCU, going to William and Mary, to name a couple. And then, of course, Education Day sprinkled in between. What was the priorities, or were the priorities for you all as a staff in putting this non-conference schedule together, and how do you feel like it all came together?
Well, I think, last year, for us, we want to just be able to put ourselves in a position where we can compete for a championship. And, obviously, it kind of fell into place. Obviously, we played Campbell at home. Now we're playing them here. It was a really good opportunity to get another SEC school or a Power 5 school on the roster. We just finished up with NC State. I know the coach at Auburn, and she's from this area, so I thought it would be really good to, get that type of competition and bring her back home as well. And then, obviously UVA right down the road. So all those games are really good. For us, having a chance to go on the road and play in a Thanksgiving tournament, whether it be Charleston, what we did last year, now we're going out west, it gives us a different look, and we need that because, you never know what you're going to face. I think our league is very talented, and we got athleticism, we got skill, we got height, we got rebounding. I mean, we got a lot. And we just want to expose ourselves to as much as possible as we get ready for conference play.
Did the change in format with the conference schedule go into a modified version
Yes.
of the bonus play format that the men debuted last year? Did that factor in at all how you went about scheduling?
Definitely, because we're playing 18 games, but obviously we don't really know who we're going to play those last 5 games, but definitely that went into it. Normally we would schedule 13 non-conference games, but obviously only having 12 non-conference games to date. But yeah, all of that played a factor.
Take us inside though, as you guys formulated the desire to be able to go this bonus play route and decide on those games as early as you're going to in mid-December. From what I've heard, the conference office will announce the pods and really those selections in terms of how the games will lay out from there. What was the motivation behind the decision on how you all wanted to go about playing bonus play?
Well, I think, for us, obviously we're not like the men. I think they're trying to mirror our the men.
Yeah.
And, those last 5 games, that will be based off of how we, do in our non-conference. And we won't make that decision. Obviously, the league will make that decision. That's something that we just have to deal with.
Yeah.
As we get to that. But for us, we just want to take care of we want to one game at a time. We'll let that happen when it happens. But that's pretty much out of our control when it came to, those last 5 games and how that came about. I mean, we support the league and whatever they decide. But at that point, we just got to take care of business for us.
And then I guess another thing that really caught my interest with regard to the schedule was, yes, we're away for Thanksgiving break, and you've got the 3-game tournament, the Ann Donovan Classic, as we mentioned in Norfolk, the 19th through the 21st of December, but no games after that 3-game stretch until you start conference play. But it starts off with a bang at Middle Tennessee, at UAB, home against Charlotte, home against Western Kentucky, and home against Marshall, who might not look like much on paper, but could still be a gut check kind of game for you all 5 games in. It seems like you guys are going to figure out really quickly where you stand in terms of being what kind of a contender you can be in the league race this year.
Definitely. Our league is tough, and I think, from top to bottom, I mean, it's going to be a battle every single night. And yes, we do start on the road again, against 2 top teams that we're going to learn a lot about ourselves. But, we hopefully, I'm sure we will be a much better team than we are, right now, when we get to league play. And that's what we want, and hopefully our non-conference will prepare us for that, but, the task at hand is this Friday against Campbell, a very, very good basketball team. They're different than last year, and it will be a much different game on both parts, and we got to get ready.
I'm glad you bring that up, because when you started the season at Campbell this time last year, we played on Election Day last year to begin the college basketball season. That we were taking on a team that finished third in the country in scoring defense and had a number of players back from that previous team at Campbell. You hung 83 on them. That was the most points that they gave up all season long. And they played some other good teams like Boston College and a few others. But 83 was the most that they had allowed, and they ended up still, regardless of that, 18th in the country last year in scoring defense, holding opponents below 57 a game. They were 8th best in the country in three-point percentage defense. So are you expecting, or at least preparing your team mentally to look at this one as maybe more closer to form, a grinded-out kind of battle potentially against Campbell?
Oh, definitely. The novelty of who we are has worn off, and, they didn't know us. And that, Campbell got better over the course of their season.
They ended up 23-13.
Correct. And very good coach. I've known him even my time when I was at South Carolina, when he was at Presbyterian, and they were a very disciplined basketball team. Their teams just play hard. But yeah, it's going to be a different game. They have experience. They played a long time. They played in the championship game of the WBI, so that alone just gives you experience. Again, for us, we got to get ready. We got to be ready.
Ronnie Fisher's Camels of Campbell University invade Chartway Arena this coming Friday at 6:30. That's the tip time. We'll be live on ESPN Radio 94.1 for the Toyota pregame show starting at 6 p.m. Tickets available at whynottix.com. And not only includes the single game tickets, but the voucher books are back this year. And if you want season tickets, there are still season tickets
and
possibility.
Courtside seats.
And courtsides.
Yeah.
Which I heard have actually had pretty good sales this year.
We have. I think we need about 12 more. Okay. And, that's a great experience to get up and close, to our players. Players may be getting steals, shooting threes, hold your hand out, you get a high five or a clap. But it is an intimate feel, and we definitely want to sell out all 52 courtside seats. I'm not sure where we are, but I think we got about 12 more to go.
Is that your way of, in essence, empowering Monarch Nation to go about this new season with so much promise with your team? Definitely.
I always say it takes a village. It does, and we need you. We want you a part of our village, and we want you up close as much as possible. So come on out, come see us, get those courtside seats, get season tickets, get the vouchers. Our games are at 6:30. We want to make sure that, we're always thinking about our families. I think this year we're going to be doing some things differently. So you got to come out for kids, where there's going to be inflatables, if it's going to be face painting. We're just trying to make, everything more family-like, because this is truly a team and a university that prides itself on family.
So we look forward to having you a part of the action, and a lot more tricks up our sleeve this year, not only with this show, but what we bring to you in terms of content throughout the year. So stay tuned to us, but more importantly, as Coach mentioned, get out there and support your Monarchs as they begin the season this Friday at 6:30 as they take on Campbell. And again, we'll have the call for you on ESPN Radio 94.1, as well as with the simulcast on CUSA TV with a paid subscription. So until Friday, for head coach Nikki McCray, I'm Doug Ripley. This has been our season preview for Old Dominion Women's Basketball. See you on Friday.